Hello there, welcome in to the latest edition of the SAU Men's Basketball Coaches Show. I'm Daniel Gallegos, joined alongside head men's basketball coach Andy Sharpe. And Coach, last time we spoke, your team 1-1 in conference play. Unfortunately, having to start off your season in conference play, so not really a chance to maybe more or less feel out your team and where you want to kind of go throughout this season. And then since the last time we spoke, your team has had to deal with some adversity, a couple of injuries and things like that. But first off, let's talk about your most recent game played, Texas A&M Commerce. It's a team that going into the game was coming off a pair of wins against top 25 teams out in California, so an impressive showing there. They're a very talented team. I know you've played them several times since you've been here, and it's been some games that have been high scoring battles with those two, and that was what we had there Monday night. Talk a little bit about that game, in particular the second half, to where your team really fought back into the game and eventually made it obviously an 8-point game at the end, but the adjustments made in the second half.
Yeah, Commerce is a very, very talented team from top to bottom. And they really have, I think, every piece to the puzzle they need to potentially win the Lone Star this year. Very good inside out. They got guards that can attack you off the dribble. They got a big dude inside. He transferred from a Big 12 school, so they presented some matchup problems for us with just their size. That they started a 5'9" point guard and everyone else was 6'6" or better. So that presented some matchup problems for us, and we came out and thought they might struggle a little bit with some zone. And their first team all Lone Star kid, LaDon Carnegie, made us pay right away. I think he made 2 or 3 threes right there in a row to start the game and really shocked us right out of the gate. And we staggered around a little bit, and that first half was just tough. We never really got back on our feet, and I think we had it down to 14 there and going into halftime. But the second half, we wanted to try and come out and just be more aggressive. I felt like we played a little timidly in the first half, and their athleticism can make you do that for sure. But we were much more aggressive. I thought our guards were much more aggressive, and Jerron and Chauncey both made a lot of shots. And we don't want to get in the habit of taking 43s a game, but we need Alrike Brown to really step up and be the post presence that we feel he can be. He's coming off a knee injury from late last year, and he's still trying to figure some things out. He was cleared the middle of November, so he's really just a month into running up and down and doing some things. So we need him to really step up, and we need Alvin Braddock to continue to try and battle through some things. He has a broken nose and he's wearing a mask, and it's going to take some time to get used to. But if we can really develop some post play and get some production inside, we feel like we can count on those two guys to provide that for us. It'll make us much tougher to guard in the half court, and a lot tougher to guard in the full court, especially whenever we play Tyrell and Jerron at the same time. It'll make us a lot quicker getting up and down the floor, and you got shooters on the perimeter. So we didn't play well against Commerce, and a lot of credit goes to them. And we played better in the second half, but we didn't go over there just to play well. We went over there to try to win the game, and we have them coming up again here in a couple weeks, and we'll see if we can do some better things.
And one of the things that kind of stuck out in that game, particularly early on, obviously they go on the big run in the first half, but they almost didn't miss. And it's one of those, I think, in the game of basketball, that you can get the shots you want, but if they don't fall, all of a sudden things can kind of spin out of your way, out of control in a very quick manner. And that's kind of what happened in that game, where I feel like your team was maybe getting the shots they wanted, weren't getting them to fall, but then on the other end it seems like they were getting them to fall, and that kind of was the story there in the first half. But talk about the second half, and not really going back again to the second half, but not allowing that maybe to linger on, and still having the aggressiveness, as you were talking about, where you've got guys like Chauncey Williams and Jerron Davis that were just willing to shoot a 3 at any point in time, and then got hot there, and that was able to help you kind of build back into it, because the game kind of evened out a little bit. Commerce started, their shooting percentage went down a little bit, and things got a little more even, rather than every time there was a miss on our end to make on the other end, things kind of evened out a little bit, and the game got closer as a result.
Yeah, I feel like in the second half, we played nothing but man-to-man defense, and you know, we've still got to figure out how to play without fouling. You know, we scored more field goals than Commerce did. We've scored more field goals than our opponents in every game we've played this year, but our opponents are scoring 30-plus points at the free throw line. So in a way, we're playing good defense, but in a way we're not, because we're still giving up points at the line. But shooting percentages are falling. So we're still trying to juggle that and figure out how we need to go forward. You know, we've been calling things a lot tighter in practice and trying to get them to understand that you know, we want to be physical and tough, but we also want to be smart. You know, that second half, our defense kind of stepped up, and we were able to string together you know, some runs where we track what we call kills, and that's when you get 3 consecutive stops on defense. And we had a couple kills there in the second half that allowed us to get those 3 stops in a row, and we were scoring on the other end. And that's how you get back in games. That's how you spread leads out and put away games. So you know, I was happy that we were able to work ourselves back in that game. It would have been very easy for our guys to say, hey, it's just not our night tonight. You know, but I was happy for us to get back in there and keep battling. You know, Chauncey can make a 3 at any minute. And Jerron, we feel like playing the 1 and the 2 gives us a special weapon where he can break people down off the dribble, and he can also shoot it. So we're still trying to figure out our lineup a little bit. We might go small and play DJ at the 4 a lot, and allow Tyrell and Jerron to play together, and Tyrell to really be the facilitator. You know, but I was pleased that they continue to fight and put themselves in a position where, you know, it was a single-digit lead there in the second half, and we gave ourselves an opportunity there to maybe make something happen there down the stretch.
You know, looking ahead, obviously, you've only had to play 2 conference games, but you've also already played, or 2 non-conference games. You've also played 2 conference games, and still not much chance to work out some of those kinks to where you don't necessarily feel the impact if you happen to get a loss, but you could also benefit with the win on the other side. That being said, 2 more conference games coming up, but they're at home, taking on a couple of very talented teams in Harding on Thursday and then OBU on Saturday. It's a couple teams that have won the last 2 conference tournament championships, so you know, they've got some experience there. Obviously, some different parts now into this year. Talk a little bit about Harding coming in on Thursday.
You know, Harding's very, very well coached, a very disciplined team. And we've talked a lot to our guys about us being more disciplined, and we're going to see a clinic in discipline Thursday night. Harding just does not beat themselves. They're very sound in what they do. They know what they need to do, and they do it. And you know, they have very skilled players at every spot, which make it tough to game plan defensively how you're going to play. They got a great big kid in the Cavallis kid inside who's leading the league in scoring. I think he's probably the best big man in the conference. So you're sitting here thinking, how do we defend him? Do we attack him with a double team and leave it up to chance if he finds the outlet guy and he makes a 3? So we're trying to figure out exactly how we're going to attack them and see if they can make some adjustments. We know that we're going to be tough to guard. You know, I think we have some guys that are tough matchups for them as well, and how they're going to defend us. So you know, that they know what it's like to cut down the net, and they have that mentality that we're trying to develop here at SAU, where, you know, you walk into a gym any given night and you expect to win, and Harding expects to win, and they have the championship rings and all that to go along with it. And you know, so it's going to be a tough ball game for us, but you know, we're here at home, and we're excited to play at home. This week, I don't know if it was good or bad scheduling on my part, but we play 3 really tough teams this week, and we're getting tested, and that's a good thing. You know, hopefully we can continue to grow and we can win a few of these games and really build off of that. But Thursday will be tough for sure.
Not looking too far ahead, but obviously Ouachita Baptist coming up afterwards on Saturday after the Harding game. OBU early on, they're off to a very good start. They're 4-1. They beat Texas A&M Commerce at their place in another high-scoring matchup. right now, OBU going into this weekend's games, they're leading the conference in scoring, better than 90 points a game. Got a couple of guys who are averaging 15 plus, one guy at over 20. So obviously they have the ability to score. Not sure how much you've been able to really look at them, obviously with Harding on the front burner, but talk a little bit about maybe just the potential of playing OBU not only at home, but kind of last year having the success you had against them, getting the season sweep against them, and I believe that was actually first conference road win for you at Ouachita Baptist last year here at SAU. So talk a little bit about building upon the success of facing OBU.
Yeah, Coach Nutt does a great job. Did a great job recruiting and brought in some guys to go along with Colt Faison and Micah Delph, who were, I thought, all-conference guys last year. So they have a formidable team. They added probably two more all-conference guys, so they're going to be very tough. We know they like to get up and down and play fast, and we have the ability to do that, but I'm more of the defensive mindset. Arkansas Tech has dominated this conference since it's been in existence, and they've never led the league in scoring. In fact, they've been at the bottom, but they've led the league in scoring defense. They might only score 60, 65 points a game, but they're going to hold their opponents to 64 or less, and that's the mindset that I'm from as well. So we're still going to continue to work defensively and try and make it tough on our opponents. We don't want to give up any rhythm threes. We don't want to give up any layups. We want to influence the type of shots that they get. We want them to be tough twos, where we get a good challenge on it and rebound, and then we can go get in transition on the other end. So we haven't looked too far ahead to Ouachita, but from the film that I've seen them play against Commerce, they like to really go fast, and we're going to have to bring an A game defensively to be able to stop that.
We appreciate it very much for your time. Again, that's head men's basketball coach Andy Sharpe. His Mule Riders are set for a couple of big early season conference matchups. First off with Harding this Thursday at 7 p.m., followed with Ouachita Baptist Saturday at 4 p.m. Also a special game on Thursday, silent countdown game, which is always, I believe now in its fourth year of existence. It's usually a great crowd. They stay silent until the 10th point is made, and then there's a big eruption there. So really looking forward to that game and getting those 10 points very quickly and having the momentum on our side for the Mule Riders. And be sure to check MuleRiderAthletics.com for all your live links leading up to the Thursday game and also Saturday against OBU. Coach, thank you.
Thanks.